Hi there, it's Kute here, giving you a shout out from Los Angeles, California. You know, sometimes as we go through life and as we grow and as we evolve, the deeper we go on the spiritual path, the transformational journey, we reach a point, you might reach a point where like everything starts falling apart. Have you ever experienced that? Just things in your life just start falling apart and things stop working and relationships fall apart and things just don't work anymore. So if you're at the point where you might be experiencing your life falling apart or the life you thought falling apart, then you can be freaked out, panic, go crazy and just freak out, or you can check in for a moment and realize that in that moment of falling apart, in that moment of crisis, it's one of the greatest opportunities of your life. It's one of the greatest opportunities of your life to grow, to evolve. That if your life is falling apart, it potentially is a great blessing. That maybe means that every single thing that is not in alignment right now with who you are evolving into, everything in your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's the way you've been operating in your life, whether it's the way you've been with yourself and your own internal structures and personas and patterns, whether it's the job you're doing or your vocation or the place that you're living or your relationship with your kids or the way you've been doing money and funding and whatever it might be that you're experiencing falling apart, being shaken, realize that if it's falling apart, it probably was not in the complete alignment with who you are now, with your highest destiny, with your highest expression, with the highest expression of light and love and your soul that is seeking to express through your life right now. That in the falling apart, it's simply creating a new space and a new place inside of you, a new place of grace inside of you, so that more light, more energy, more authentic expression can happen through you than the limited old structures you may have been operating inside of before. This is the gift of the crisis you may be going through. So ask yourself, what is the gift? What are the lessons that you need to learn as a result right now? What are those things that no longer in alignment? So you can resist. The thing that often happens is when things fall apart, we freak out and we resist. So you can resist what's happening. You can resist the tsunami. You can resist the wave, or you can throw your arms up and say, universe, I surrender. Universe, I surrender and I let go of how I think my life should be. Because often what happens in the moment of life falling apart and crisis is there's this pattern in our minds where we say, you know, the experience that I'm having is not the experience that I should be having. I shouldn't be having this experience right now. This is not the experience I should be having. I should be having some other experience at this moment. It should be like that. And we often have an idea of how we think our life should be at a particular point in time, and when it doesn't happen and things fall apart, it creates suffering and resistance. Resistance will just keep you stuck, and in those moments where everything's falling apart, the more you resist, the more suffering you will experience. The more you resist, the more suffering you will experience. And suffering is not something you have to experience. Suffering is the spin, the interpretation that you're putting on what's happening right now. But the more you're able to let go, the more you're able to go in flow and cooperation with what's happening, fully trusting that if it's happening, it must be happening for a reason, that there's something, a relationship, a job, a place for you to live, some new friends, there's something that's more in alignment for you right now, alignment with where you are going, alignment with your soul's natural, organic, authentic expression that is actually seeking to happen at this particular point right now. If you're willing to trust that, then you tap into another stream of energy. You tap into another flow. But sometimes we get so attached to what we've built. Have you noticed? We get attached to our car, to our house, to our title, to the way we're perceived by society, to the money. We get so attached to these things. What things are you currently attached to that might be limiting your full expression? What things and circumstances and situations and experiences in your life are you perhaps holding so tightly onto that it's blocking your freedom, not allowing you to live with total integrity and freedom in your life, not allowing you to be fully self-expressed? These things have to go. These things have to move because they're ultimately blocking the innate evolutionary impulse of life that is seeking to evolve and grow. And ultimately, my friends, life itself is not simply about succeeding by material standards. Life itself is not simply about being perceived well by others. Life itself is not simply about success on the traditional level, which is things and achieving a specific goal. The true nature of life is an evolutionary process that you and I are souls on a journey of life. You and I are souls that are born into this life to evolve, to grow, to ultimately awaken to more of who we are, to ultimately let go of everything, all the illusions, all the old stuff, all the patterns that really aren't truly in alignment with who we really are, so we can live and grow and evolve and become more enlightened to realize what we've always already been anyway. To me, this is the real process of life. So when life falls apart, I invite you, my friends, to surrender. I invite you to let go. I invite you to trust. I invite you to throw your arms open to the universe and trust that the same force that has birthed you into life, that the same force that is living and breathing you right now is the same force that is bringing the winds of change through your life, is the same force that not only helped you succeed and create success, but is the same force that is breathing these winds of change, clearing away as a purification, clearing away all the blockages, clearing away everything that doesn't serve you, so that only what remains is your highest self. Only what remains is your highest expression. Only what remains is what's real. Then you get to create a life based on what's real, what's authentic, and what's true. Then you get to interact and have relationships that are true, real, and authentic. It's not always easy. It's often challenging. Life is not always easy, but to me, the real heroes are not just called Kobe and Tom Cruise and Will Smith and Obama and Oprah, and we just go down the list. The real heroes are you and I, that are willing to dive into this game of life, the evolution of life, and be willing to let go of the old. Be willing to let go of who we no longer are. Be willing to let go of what no longer serves us, so we can rise up and create the space for what's seeking to happen and is truly in alignment with who we are today. So as your life begins to fall apart, trust that perhaps it's the infinite compassion and grace of the universe actually falling your life together, bringing your life together in ways that you cannot actually see, that your life is falling together in ways that your mind can't currently see right now from its current perspective. It's like looking at a big painting and only seeing a small part, that perhaps a few days, a few weeks, a few months from now, when you allow your life to fall apart and you stand as your life is falling apart, as you stand above where all the buildings and the former structures that used to cloud your vision, you will see a new vision for your life. You will see new possibilities for your life. You will see new ways of doing and living and breathing and seeing that you could not currently see right now, as your life has fallen apart as you knew it. The life that you're truly seeking to live, the life that's truly seeking to live through you, can emerge and express itself through you in ways you could not even fathom. Perhaps a few days, weeks, and months from now, as the rubble of your life is settled and a new vision emerges, you can look back and say, wow, had my life not fallen apart, had those old structures not fallen apart, I wouldn't have met that person. I would not have had that experience. I would not have gone to that place. I would not have given this up that needed to happen. That the journey you go through that process of things falling apart, that journey you go through, my friends, is the journey of life, the journey of growth, the journey that will help your soul evolve the most into the most brilliant, magnificent being you were called forth to be in this life. Trust, surrender, open your arms, know that the highest good is happening, that as life falls apart, it's the universe's way of bringing you back into complete alignment. So get curious to see what magic awaits to manifest as the new expression of you and your life now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Love now. Love now.